Hello, how are we, chat? Welcome to Anfield Road TV. Little live show anyway tonight. Go through the match on the weekend. A very good result for the Reds. Obviously, speak about the latest transfer news as well. Probably not. The big one. Obviously, we'll speak about the statements. I want to gauge your thoughts and very much opinions really in this regard, because it was a very fascinating tweet from Alexander the Great. Isak. I'm excited. Hopefully he will move to Liverpool, but just quickly jumped the gun from me. I think he's gone about it the wrong way, if I'm being honest. But as he already illustrated, promises were broken by Newcastle United Football Club, and some of the takes from Newcastle fans are absolutely wild, really. I've got a tweet anyway that very much summarises the craziness of the tweet. Again, we all know Isak, and when Liverpool had Suarez, Coutinho, Sterling, you get caught up in the moment, really. You don't want to be seeing them go. But at the end of the day, no player is bigger than the football club, and when they're kicking up a fuss, there's no loyalty in football. There never has been, and there never will be. It's all well and good having a contract, but if a player wants to leave, then you can't really change your minds. The players are too powerful now at every single football club. They dictate who the manager is. They dictate the results on the pitch fundamentally as well. So we're just very blessed as a football club as well, chat, that we've got some very fantastic characters within the dressing room. A phenomenal head coach as well. And the hierarchy at Liverpool in regards to the setup is absolutely elite. It's never always been elite. Obviously, pre-Jurgen Klopp era, it was a difficult moment, difficult transitions as well. But thankfully, at this moment in time, as we are speaking on the 20th of August, Liverpool are in very good standing, really, and that's all you can hope for. And that can certainly not be said about Newcastle United. No sporting director, Eddie Howe, giving jobs to his family members as well. Jobs for the boys anyway. It's like it's a club the size of Newcastle. They are a big club, but when it comes to winning trophies and being consistent at the top table, especially over the last 10 years as well, then Liverpool is the biggest destination in English football anyway. If you can't go Liverpool or United, then you're probably going Liverpool or Manchester City, not United. Maybe United 20 years ago anyway, but their history still speaks for itself. But I think it's the money that very much at United, that's why they've been absolutely god awful for the last 20 odd years or whatever it's been anyway. 10 years. It's the fact that they keep on throwing money at the problem. They need to invest in the academy and stop giving 200 grand a week to like 21-year-olds. It's not going to work, sadly. Long may it continue anyway. They keep doing that. But chat, yeah, we've got to speak about the footy, speak about Isak as well, speak about Leone, Ben Doak as well, and put him on the thumbnail as well. But Steve, how are we, la? I'm not too bad, mate. And I've got a week off anyway from work, obviously. As you know anyway, work for Anfield Index, but it's been good just to recharge the batteries anyway, go again this season, because it's going to be a very busy and hopefully successful season for the Reds as well. That's what we all want anyway. But yeah, I'm sure everyone needs a little bit of reset, a little bit of a time to just relax. But thankfully I've got an amazing team and amazing people as well to work with, so they've allowed me to do so. But Reds, yeah, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. But firstly, we'll get straight into a bit of the news really that has been circulating, transfer news, but general Liverpool news as well, Reds. But firstly, we'll start with the there we go. Sorry, I'll move your comments over there. There we go, mate. But chat, let us know your thoughts. If you are watching on the repeat as well, do drop a like on the video as well. You're absolute legends as well. And Reds, I'll get to every single one of your comments as always. But bear with 1 second there, Steve. Let's get that off. Sorry there, let's get that off. But firstly, we'll go to obviously not that one. Wrong placement for that. Do apologise, chat. We're not speaking about the match just yet. But obviously Liverpool's announcement, obviously this week. Just a couple of tweets from Liverpool's official site anyway. Taking his place in the PFA's team of the season for a fifth time. incredible from the skipper. He's got a couple of ones to go behind Virgil van Dijk. He's 3 behind Steven Gerrard, which is absolutely remarkable in itself, in all honesty. I think you look at the era in which Steven Gerrard, we all, especially people my age, we grew up watching Stevie carrying the club on his bloody shoulders for like the majority of them seasons. The occasional season where he was very blessed to play alongside the likes of Torres, Xavi Alonso, Mascherano, Carragher, Hippier as well, Pepe Reina when he had a very good bit of form as well between the sticks. But yeah, Gerrard carried that foot. That's why he's regarded as, for me, Liverpool's greatest ever player, and probably a lot of yous as well, really. Liverpool's greatest ever players in terms of carrying the club as well. But yeah, 3 behind Steven Gerrard. Virgil van Dijk, anyway, taking his place for the 5 times, which is absolutely amazing, really, when you think about the player that we brought from Southampton all those years ago. I think if you would have asked any Red back then, obviously he would have won 2 league titles, won the Champions League, and made an absolute massive impact. And let's hope this season ends with a Premier League trophy as well, because that would be absolutely fantastic. And yeah, it's incredible by Virgil, big Virgil anyway. And yeah, it's not too bad. We're very blessed to certainly have him captain Liverpool as well. Apologies there, chat. Wrong section. That's for the when we speak about a match. Wait 1 second there. But in terms of, not that one, we've gone through that one. So in terms of Mohamed Salah, and as you can see here, Reds, obviously a record 3rd time. Only Mohamed Salah has won the PFA Players Player of the Year 3 times, which is absolutely remarkable. He should have 3 league titles, if I'm being honest. I'm pretty sure he'll get that 3rd league title this season, hopefully, if all things go Mo's way and all of our way anyway. But Reds, do drop a like on the video as well. Massively does help out in terms of the video, getting it out there, as always anyway. But yeah, 3 times. Chat, what are we saying? Mohamed Salah. It's mad how people have analysed him, rival fans analysing Mohamed Salah coming into this season, again writing him off at their peril, really. It's crazy. They're all entitled to their opinions anyway, but yeah, it's just disappointing, really, in regards to the way people just speak about Salah. Like, you'd think that he wasn't very much. You'd think he wasn't the player he was, but it's jealousy, it's rivalry as well. I'm pretty sure if Mo did play for the majority of all the other teams, the fans that they speak about him. But yeah, he's a tremendous footballer and an even better human being as well. But not too bad as well. But yeah, big up there, Andrew. All good, mate. Sorry, I was busy. Do apologise, I missed that, bud. So next, happy days. Yeah, Gahey. Hopefully it's sorted, Andrew. In regards to bringing Mark Gahey into the football club anyway. And obviously Alexander Isak, will speak about that at the back end of the show as well. As Steve said, can't wait for Isak at Liverpool. Hopefully Steve gets done this window. Obviously there's 2 weeks left of the transfer window at this moment in time. A lot can happen within football, but I just find it absolutely remarkable, really, in regards to obviously Isak, not like the way he's gone about it. We'll jump about it anyway. Footy Judge Mo. How are we, lad? How are we, mates? Yeah, hope you're well, mate. And you're absolutely smashing it. Not just at the minute, since you've come into the Liverpool scene, the footballing scene anyway. Nice one, Judge. Much appreciated. Reds, mods, can you drop Mo's channel link in the description, please? And the comment section as well. But trying to get, but yeah. I've got Xbud. Jack McIndoe, you can find him, mate. I'll put the link in the description anyway, mate. I think of follow. I'll drop you a follow, bud. Nice one for tuning in, mate. Much appreciated. But I'm connected with you, Jack McIndoe. Search Jack McIndoe, obviously, as well under there. Bear with 1 second, mate. I'll once we've gone through the agenda as well, mate. But Reds, head over to Footy Judge Mo. You know who he is anyway, but if you haven't subscribed, head over there as well, Reds. And yeah, a big debate as well. Well done, La. You're doing well. Nice one for tuning in. Much appreciated, fella. But But yeah, it's Jack McIndoe, bud, on Insta, and you'll find it. McIndoe. Yeah, that. So in terms of Gary's comment there as well, Taliola, how are we, buds? Liverpool must cut their losses for the same money. Fofana, Gehi can all be signed. It's not FIFA, that. As much as we'd want those players in, very good footballers, we can't do it as a quick snap of our fingers. A lot, as we all know, mates, Gary, we know it's about trying to get certain individual players out. Look at the Wissa situation. We'll speak about it at the back end of the show anyway, mate. But yeah, Gary, how are we, mates? Hope you're looking after yourself, most importantly, mates. But yeah, not too bad. 3 times Salah's won that. Obviously, I think Thierry won it twice, I think. Vidic twice. Ronaldo, of course, won it. But yeah, he's amazing, Mohamed. He's a phenomenal footballer, and what he does off the pitch as well, the work, and he's a tremendous human being. I think Liverpool, we all know we've been very blessed to have him leading Liverpool alongside the likes of Virgil van Dijk, Alisson as well. We don't take it for granted, and we never will anyway. But I'd like Salah to retire at Liverpool, but maybe if a big Saudi move comes in next season, obviously with a year left, but I think how many times have we said that over the last 2-3 years? Oh, with Saudi come in. But I think Mo's affiliation, Mo's love for the city of Liverpool and just the fans as well and the football club, he knows we love him to bits anyway as well. So yeah, we'll get something sorted anyway. So hopefully he retires, and hopefully he can add to that hat-trick of PFA players of the year 3 times anyway. So fingers crossed he can get that sorted anyway, and maybe this time next year on the 20th, 2026 as well, he sat there with his 4th PFA player of the year as well. But yeah, he's especially in that one, most importantly. Bear with 1 second here, chat. I've got a little his comments when he spoke about it. Is it this one? Sorry, Josh. You can tell the great planning going into my show sometimes. I've got it there. I need to start naming them anyway. Not that one. Where is it? That one. There we go. I think it's that one. Yeah, there we go. I can see, and I need my glasses for this. This is a very special awards. It hits different when we have an important trophy to go with it, along with it. Being champions is what matters, and we will fight to do it again this season. It's incredible. Mo's grateful as well to the players who voted for me, and that's the main thing, as Salah said there. This trophy is obviously working with the colleagues and obviously his competitors in the field of football as well. But yeah, he's a top professional and a phenomenal individual as well. And yeah, when Mo speaks, the whole world listens as well on a lot of very important issues that are going around the world at this moment in time. That need to be discussed as well, and yeah, it's amazing. Yeah, well done, Mo, and he's done well. Sorry there, chat. Is it that one? Yeah, and there we go. Just a little one here as well. In terms of Liverpool, obviously former Bournemouth left back anyway. We'll speak about Milos Kerkez going absolutely berserk down that left hand flank anyway, and against Bournemouth. Couple of nights ago anyway. Thankfully, he got taken off by Arne Slot. Obviously already on a yellow, but yeah, fantastic. And let's hope this time next year, those 5 lads or even more Liverpool players are in, obviously, the PFA players and team of the season anyway. It shades back to, obviously, those years ago. Remember when Liverpool had so many record-breaking players in the team of the year? Obviously, the FIFA Club World Player of the Year as well. Ballon d'Or Team of the Year. But hopefully Liverpool can aspire to those levels again this season and maybe next season as well. But it's made up for the... Obviously, football's a team sport as well, but I'm made up for our lads and certain other Premier League players. I've got to say, Reds, I might be biased. Morgan Rogers had a very good year last year, but I feel Ryan Gravenberch obviously was in the category of young player of the season. Obviously, Morgan Rogers had a great year, but I feel in terms of how instrumental, I think a lot of people do speak, of course, Salah with the goals and the assists and Virgil and all that. But I think for me, when you don't have Gravenberch, he's so instrumental to the system, as we've seen over the last week as well. And we did miss his defensive solidity, really, his defensive prowess, and really stopping the penetrating balls into the middle of the park as well in the final third. So yeah, he's instrumental, and made up all 5 lads as well. There we go, Mattox. Good to see you in the comments, mate. But yeah, there we go. I was wondering who disliked the stream as well, Mattox. There we go. How are we, la? And don't get me started on the captain and of what's her name anyway. Yeah. If anyone's playing fantasy, I had who did I have? Joe Pedro. Yeah, Joe Pedro was my captain, but yeah, less we say about that. Hope you're looking after yourself, mate. Nice one for tuning in, bud. Much appreciated. And yeah, I won't get talking about that loss to Leeds. That's so good. But yeah, usually moving into your new stadium anyway. But yeah, it should be good. The Saudis, Gary, yes. And we'll speak about that, Gary, at the back end of the show as well, mate, anyway. But it was a very much a case of FSG and the FFP and the Saudi, like the business, when you speak business. Obviously, those of both FSG and the PIF, that was it. I'm trying to think of what it was called anyway, but PIF with Live Golf, their ongoing partnerships behind closed doors as well. It's I don't think that would be put at risk, really. I think 2 big organisations in terms of FSG and the PIF, obviously the Saudi big governing body as well. Like, yeah, I think either will get done. The fact that they helped us in regards to bringing in Darwin Núñez, so there's business to be done along the way anyway. Obviously signed Fabinho, signed Henderson as well, so yeah, we'll get Isak eventually. I think it's just a fair lot of posturing, really, in regards to, do you want our player? No, it's all PR for the press, and you'd like to hope Liverpool, the shrewd negotiators that we are, the business can get done anyway very quickly in regards. Why have you took your bloody Mattox? Why have you took your FIFA finger off, lad? I suppose you're too old for that now, aren't you, lads? Anyway, but big up, yeah, he's not too bad there. Steve, all good as well. Yeah, but how are we, Mo? Hope you're well, mate. Nice one for tuning. Make sure you tune into Mo's channel anyway. Absolutely smashing it. As always, but it's 34 months. Nice one there, Doug. Much appreciated, bud. You're an absolute legend. How are we, lad? And yeah, massive thank you for all your continued support, bud. Much appreciated. Doesn't go unnoticed anyway from a lot of me mates anyway, but it's one of them anyway. But yeah, chat. We'll move on swiftly to. But Doug, hope you're looking after yourself, la. All good on that. But we'll quickly move on to. Obviously, we've read that one anyway. The match, really. Is it that one? Yeah, the match. The result. 4 goals at Anfield. It was, firstly, and rightly so, we'll speak on, obviously, Antoine Semenyo, really. Some absolute and awful what happened in the ground as well. It's absolutely utterly disgusting. 2025, and it's just all about if ever we see it in life as well, call it out, call it for what it is. Speak. If you don't sit on your hands and do nothing really in life. If you see someone doing that, like, tell them it's wrong as well, and just try and be a better person as well. If you wake up, it's disgusting, really. And I made up. Semenyo got the goals. Thankfully, Liverpool got the other 2 goals anyway. But I think in terms of like racism or any form of discrimination in life as well, for any person that walks different walks in life, any different backgrounds as well, we're all one. Football, that's what football does in terms of uniting everyone, really, at a forefront in terms of bringing everyone together and all that good stuff as well. So yeah, it's disappointing, but I think thankfully he's been given a stadium ban. I think the last time I read anyway, but yeah, just call it out if you ever see it in day-to-day life as well, chat. yeah, the one beautiful thing about football is it brings people from different walks of life, different parts, and yeah, it's disgusting really, and yeah, just needs stamping out of the game really. And the only way we do that is togetherness, calling out for what it is as well. And if we see it, try and tell people straight away as well. It's like, what are you doing? And just seek education really, because it's disgusting really. And hopefully Semenyo does have a very fantastic season. He's a phenomenal footballer as well. I think obviously last year or so, I think his quality speaks for itself really. But yeah, you never walk alone, Semenyo, and yeah, it was just disgusting really to see. Sadly, so we'll move on to the next stage as well. So in terms of quickly just mention that as well, I think it was important that we spoke about it really. And yeah, the 4 goals, the football, it was a madness last Friday anyway, wasn't it? Liverpool, defending champions, coming up against Bournemouth. It couldn't have got any, Bournemouth are one of those sides really absolutely decimated at the back. Obviously Dean Huijsen, obviously Milos Kerkez as well, and some of the big key players that have departed from their football club anyway. But yeah, the main signing that they didn't, player or manager, is the manager really. Iriola, a phenomenal coach, a manager that, when you analyse it, I'm very surprised a lot of the so-called bigger clubs, bigger institutions within football in the Premier League as well. I think, I don't know if you're still in the comments, Mattox, anyway, but I think even a club like Everton should have maybe gone for him ahead of David Moyes. David Moyes, you know what type of football you're going to get, defensively, sit behind the ball, but I think the football in which Iriola does play and the performance level in which he gets out of his team for a smaller budget compared to the other clubs, obviously the capacity of the stadium as well. So this is why the narrative of obviously West Ham leaving Upton Park was, we're getting more money into the football club, generate more revenue as well. But you look at the revenue that Bournemouth must generate on a match day, it pales in insignificance really in regards to, you look at other clubs in the team as well. So Everton have just moved stadium, West Ham moved new stadium as well. So over the last couple of seasons, so it's one of them really. It is madness. But Reds, thoughts on the game on Friday? I was made up. Liverpool got all 3 points, and so long obviously going into the cauldron that will be St James's on Monday. Couple of days time, Reds, are we excited for that? I know I am. Yes, I know really, because it was a difficult result last year. It's always difficult. Obviously, Liverpool getting beat by Newcastle United in the League Cup final as well. It was one of them. It was honestly one of them really, in regards to not a bogey team to Liverpool, because of course Liverpool have got fundamental much better football and quality really. But it's one of them. It is going to be an extremely difficult environment coming into it, really, and you'd like to think focus on the 3 points as well. But I think it was a very good showing for Liverpool on Friday night, if I'm being honest. Hugo Ekitike, obviously breaking the deadlock in the early stages of that game. Everyone was going, it was dodgy, it was bouncing all over the gaff, but that's a sign of a very potentially an elite level footballer as well. The anticipation. How many strikers do you see anticipating that ball bouncing, ricocheting? It's one thing seeing it, but in terms of executing it as well, in terms of bringing that down, hitting it on the volley as well, and putting it into the bottom corner. His goal at Wembley, I think he seems to be a lad that thrives in the big environments, and I think obviously I've no respect to Darwin Núñez as well, but I think when I've watched, I know it's a small sample size really in regards to when you're analysing Ekitike over the last 2-3 match outings as well in a Liverpool shape, but it looks very promising, Reds. He seems like a very naturally gifted finisher, a lad that can put the ball in the back of the net, and yeah, his link-up play is absolutely outstanding for a lad that's 6'3", 6'4", He's got a good touch for the big lads anyway, as did Peter Crouch back in the day as well. But yeah, all good. But nice one for that, Doug. How are we, fella? Or someone in there, Nick. You must be. Doubt it, Nick. Doubt it, la. Not the size of Jurgen Klopp anyway, sadly, mate. But hope you're well, Nick. And happy days. Yeah. Not too bad, bud. Made up the footballs back, as I know you will be, mate, as well. But big up there, Zara. How are we, fella? What was the last time Liverpool beat? Newcastle beat Liverpool in the Premier League, a game either home or away. Oh, that's a good data. I'm guessing you know that answer to that question, mate. So, trying to think back. A very long time ago. Obviously, that famous game with Collymore and Anfield as well, all those years ago. You have to go back to, I'd say, 1981 too, something around that time as well. Because you look at, obviously, the season in which Liverpool were absolutely decimated with injuries. Even when we were playing Henderson and Fabinho centre half, like, we didn't get beat by Newcastle, don't think. So yeah, Dara, let us know, mate. I'm guessing you know the question to that, the answer to that question anyway. But chat, fill us in regards to that as well. It'd be interesting. But yeah, not too bad. So in terms of moving on to the next one, let's speak about that in a little second. Or Diogo. Was it that one? No, not the Mendoza one. So yeah, that was it, the Salah one. Finally, so we'll speak about Salah. Chat, we've had this long discussion for absolutely eternity, really. Moving up in your Premier League goal scoring rankings, Salah, obviously Alan Shearer, at the top of Mount Everest, really, when it comes to Premier League goals. 260. Salah has now moved to number 4 position in those rankings anyway. He's only, I'd say, he's a season off, hopefully beating Wayne Rooney. No. I'd say another 2 seasons he'll possibly overtake Wayne Rooney anyway, but it depends how much of a big impact, big season Salah does have this year. So it's going to be one of them. 187 goals, level with Andy Cole. What a player anyway, what a striker. Beating Sergio Aguero. It's absolutely amazing, chat. It's remarkable when you think about, when you analyse Salah. He's classed as he's a winger, but we know how the modern game has developed. An inside forward, really, to say the least. 187 goals. Wayne Rooney, 208. So so 21 goals behind Wayne Rooney. Can he beat that? Possibly. I think possibly. Yeah, I think he will. Hopefully he can get 21, 22 goals this year in the Prem. And yeah, fingers crossed that can be very much the case. So Mohamed's doing a fantastic job, and long may it continue. Will he break that Alan Shearer record? I don't think so, but it just depends if Salah gets good luck with injury at the back end of his career. The end of his 2-year contract, how old will he be? 35? Possibly. Depends how he's looking after his body and how much better shape the team is. Yeah, I think if he was to sign a contract extension, even at the age of 35, what would he need? Probably it'd need about 15, 20 goals each season. Maybe, but it depends which situation we do find Salah in. But back on, obviously, the PFA Player of the Year anyway, 3rd time. And Salah, I tell you, records are there to be broken, and there's one person that can certainly do that in the Premier League. It's the Egyptian King anyway, and long may that continue, Reds. So, moving on to, obviously, quickly mention, the You Never Walk Alone, Diogo, as well, and an impeccable, really, fantastic support from the footballing world over the last couple of months, but certainly in the Premier League, some phenomenal, beautiful remembrance, and especially from Molyneux as well on the weekends, remembering Diogo Jota, who was absolutely instrumental in terms of their top flight longevity, really, in terms of being in the, obviously, a club the size of Wolverhampton is absolutely massive. Obviously, the great support as well as a city, but he played an integral part and integral story, really, in terms of Wolves getting promoted from the Championship and then obviously getting that big move from Wolves to Liverpool not too long ago. But Diogo, this season and beyond as well, will always be with us anyway, looking down and being with the team, and you never walk alone. And obviously thoughts go to Diogo's family and friends and all that, so it's going to be one of them. But Diogo, you never walk alone. It was a beautiful tribute from Wolves, obviously, for their former forward as well. So going into the transfer news as well, Reds, obviously McIndoe now, obviously he has changed his name from obviously McIndoe, added, I think I'm guessing it's a second parent name anyway, McIndoe, the newest recruit for AFC Bournemouth, obviously signed for 25 million. And this is why I know a lot of rival fans go, how did Liverpool do it? But it's just great recruitment in regards to recruitment and fundamentally selling as well, because Liverpool, as we know, obviously, I remember doing the video a couple of seasons back, £600,000 McIndoe was signed from Celtic anyway. It was a big prospect, 2 years on the bounce, suffered very big injuries, and it was in pre-season as well. But he's a very dynamic player, a lad with a lot of promise. And obviously in that £25 million deal, Liverpool have got the the opportunity of a buyback clause anyway, inserted into that contract that he has signed for Bournemouth. And Liverpool still highly regards McIndoe in regards to the hierarchy of the academy and all that. So yeah, they rate him, but I'm made up. He's got a tremendous move to Bournemouth. I think he'll really suit them down to a T, really, in regards to his playing style, the way how direct he is as well. He's a player that with immense potential, and hopefully he can very much showcase that. He's at a phenomenal football club as well, in terms of that gets the best for the buck, really, in terms of developing players, especially when they come into the Premier League. Look at Kerkez, you look at Dean Huijsen, an endless list of great players that have come in. Obviously, Zabani gone to Paris Saint-Germain recently over the last week. They signed them and Brighton are the two best footballing operated sides. In regards to that budget as well, Liverpool speaks for itself because we're absolutely massive in terms of the hierarchy, but in regards to the financial level, in terms of turning over profit and being sustainable as a football club as well, tremendous, really. 25 million, it just goes to show good business from Liverpool all round, and the fact that we've put a buyback clause in potentially, so maybe in 2-3 years time, if he goes on from strength to strength and goes on to be living into that potential that Liverpool hierarchy and the scouting recruitment seen in him all those years ago when he was at Celtic. So all the best to him, and I think 25 million, again, as much as it winds rival fans up, it's one of them, really. It's a great business, and just goes to show again how good Liverpool are in regards to football and operations, in terms of bringing in players and selling players at that same time. I think Liverpool's net spend is in and around 100 odd million, which isn't too bad, really, when you think about it. And it's crazy, because Liverpool could certainly go out and spend 150 odd million again, obviously on a certain striker as well, and obviously a potential new centre half coming in the form of Mark Gahey, but Kanate as well. I do think potentially if a bid was to come in as well, Reds, for Ibrahim Kanate from Real Madrid, that's been muted as well. I think Liverpool will be very much inclined to very much listen to that offer, and potentially maybe if the deal is right for Liverpool and Real Madrid, then possibly Ibu Kanate leaving with a year left on his contract, and especially if we did bring in obviously Mark Gahey in the other opposite direction as well, that would bode very well for Liverpool in that regard to the transfer. So quickly mentioning another centre half before we get into the big talking points, really, in terms of Alexander Isak, the big Swede. But obviously Giovanni Leone, this lad is an absolute bloody giant, 6'5", 18 years old anyway. A big report in regards to Italian football as well. He's a lad with a big potential, a lot of quality, a lot of footballing quality as well. And certainly, I think obviously the images that were last year of him absolutely bodying Lukaku anyway. Lukaku, one of the most strongest forwards in the European game anyway, and he was just manhandling him. Like, he was like, get away, lads, in a bit. It reminds me of when Ibu went to Old Trafford a couple of seasons ago, and he was just laughing. Ibu, like, pushing all the players away, and like he had a couple of Man United players under his arms as well, but very highly regarded in Italy. I think a lot of Juve fans, a lot of Inter fans, a lot of the big clubs in the Serie A were very disappointed to see the Italian depart at Serie A. But it just goes to show the pulling power of Liverpool and made up. This to me screams, and I do apologise, I did watch a video and read a couple of articles as well over the last week in regards to how people have described it, and I found it absolutely amazing the way in which they analysed it in terms of the business that we just mentioned with Brighton, the Brentfords, the Bournemouths as well. This screams to me that Liverpool have jumped the gun really in regards to cutting out the middleman, maybe 2, 3, 4 years down the line, where say if Leone went to a Bournemouth or a Brighton, and then 2 years down the line he's developed even more, and then his price has gone to 60, 70, 80 odd million. 18 years old, but you never know. You're seeing with Rio Engamued and certain players, Steven Gerrard, Jamie Carragher, and young players that have come in. Wayne Rooney, for example, at Everton, when he was a young player as well. Certain players, when you get the opportunity, you never look back really. And Yamal, obviously for Spain and Barcelona, if you're good enough, it doesn't matter how old you are as well, in terms of you getting into that starting 11 and very much making the shirt your own really. And yeah, very highly regarded. Exciting to see in regards to how he impacts. He's going to probably get a lot of League Cups, a lot of FA Cup appearances for Liverpool this season. Certainly we don't want to be playing Virgil van Dijk and Ibu in the FA Cup and the League Cup. We don't want to be doing that. And hopefully Joe Gomez stays fit and consistent really as well. But yeah, as Steve said there, 2015, who scored for Newcastle? Whoa, bloody hell. Dara, I can hardly remember what I done yesterday, mate. Was it Kabay? Was it Kabay? Was it Kabay? I'm guessing. Yeah, I think it. I think it was Kabay. Let me know, Dara. Anyway, we should have kept Dara saying we should have kept Quanta as well. Do you reckon, mate? It's difficult, Dara, isn't it? But I think chat. Let us know your thoughts on what Dara said there. Yeah, it's difficult. It's just, in an ideal scenario, Canate signs a 5-year deal, and then that like alleviates quite a lot of the talk, a lot of the speculation. Liverpool can kind of relax for like 2-3 years. But yeah, it's one of them, Dara. I think Quanta, the stage in which he is now in his career, in terms of his developments, obviously playing for the under-21s for England as well, winning that competition alongside Harvey Elliott. Elliott will probably speak about it this week as well, linked with RB Leipzig, but a player of his ability. The only sad, disappointing thing when he analysed that data is he's playing under Erik ten Hag. He's not playing under Xabi Alonso. Obviously Boniface, I think Boniface has just announced that he's moving to, I think it was Boniface moving to today. I seen it was a Turkish club anyway, but yeah, I'm very surprised by that, but it's a bit mad really. I think Boniface, is he 23, 24? Or it might be a bit older. I'm probably thinking about someone else in the Bundesliga anyway. But yeah, I know. Yeah, well, it doesn't matter how old he is anyway in regards to Victor Boniface. But yeah, with Quanta, he's coming into Leipzig. Not Leipzig. Leverkusen. That many bloody German clubs. Leverkusen as well. But yeah, I'm disappointed that he's got Erik ten Hag. But you never know. Could it be the Manchester United case with Erik ten Hag? Man United, any players that they sign, any managers that come into their football club, absolutely whittle under the pressure really and collapse and just become a shade of the once great selves anyway. But long may it continue and the demise of Manchester United continue. Up to Reds. Morning Reds, Scouts and Bernard. It's a great name, that. Morning Reds, how are we? Obviously, wherever you are watching around the world as well. It's morning, well it is now as well. AC Milan, nice one there, bonkers. Do apologise. So yeah, that's it. Bonkers. How old's Victor Boniface? I'm probably thinking it's either Boniface or Garassi. Obviously the former Stuttgart striker. I think Garassi's the younger of the two strikers. I'm getting confused by both of them because big, tall, pacey strikers as well. Similar profile as well in regards to the physical attributes as a footballer as well. But yeah, that's down to set there and a little bit of quiz there. Gini Wijnaldum and an own goal by Skirtle. Not too bad there, Dara. There we go. There we go, lad. All good. So, chat, moving on from one very good centre half to a massive statement by Alexander Isak. Sorry there, chat. We'll speak about it in a sec. But as you can see there, this is from Alexander Isak this week. I'm proud to be recognised by my fellow professionals with the place in the PFA Premier League's Team of the Season for 2024-25. First and foremost, I want to thank my teammates and everyone at Newcastle United who has supported me along the way. I'm not at the ceremony tonight with everything going on. I didn't feel it was right to be there. I've kept quiet for a long time whilst others have spoken. The silence has allowed people to push their own version of events, even though they know it doesn't reflect what is in reality said and agreed behind closed doors. So easy for people to very much do that. It's the life we live in, sadly, Isaac, really. A lot of people like to jump the gun, give their 2 pence, really, because they like to be in the spotlight, really, and they like to very much control the narrative as well. So, yeah, so we'll go on for a long time. Whilst others have spoken, read that one. The reality is that is the promise we've made. Promises were made, and the club has known my position for a long time. To now act as if there is an issue or only emerging is misleading. When promises are broken and trust is lost, the relationships can't continue. That's where things are for me now, and why things have changed is in the best interests for everyone, not just myself. So yeah, apologies there, chat. When promises are broken and trust is lost, the relationships can't continue. That's where things are for me right now. And my changes in the best interest for everyone. Changes in the best interest for everyone and not just myself. So Reds, let us know your thoughts on that, Reds. It's a bit of a mad one, but as is life, as I said before, we were all waiting for Isaac's own comment, really, because we've seen a lot of journalists, we've seen a lot of Newcastle fans as well. We've seen even me, everyone's really has threw their 2 pence into the circle, really, and yeah, I find it absolutely madness, really, that all the Newcastle fans jumping on the bandwagon, but it's one of them. Loyalty, and I'll speak about it, and even we had it with Trent a couple of months ago anyway. Trent went to Real Madrid, he had his little comment, he made his piece, really. A lot of us were disappointed to see him because he's a Scouse lad, but it's not like Isaac has come through the academy as well, which I find absolutely madness in itself. Really, we all get Isaac's quality, but this is one thing that's done my head in about Newcastle fans, and we'll speak about that tweet in a little second as well. For them to very much function as a football club in the next couple of seasons, next 5, 10, 20 years as well, for when they recruit new players, all the players in European football and world football will be looking at this situation at Newcastle United. Any potential players that wanted to come to Newcastle, this to me shows and highlights, all well and good, every player's got a contract. You don't want to be keeping a player that's not happy. If this was a Liverpool player, we'd want to get rid of him as well, straight away. Trent gone, obviously Suarez, Sterling, they all went eventually. We didn't keep hold of them. The only player that I can remember, and we all remember, was Luis Suarez. But that was only because Arsenal were coming after them. And Gerrard literally said to Luis Suarez, the bigger clubs will come for you, Luis Suarez. Louis, give us another year and then we'll sell you. Suarez, fair enough. he wants to leave. He wants to leave for Arsenal, but he listened to the captain. He listened to a world-class player as well. He listened to Steven Gerrard. And what happens? Barcelona were very much interested in Luis Suarez, and he eventually got his move, where he got 70-80 million as well. Trent was different as well. When Newcastle fans are speaking on the Trent situation, he left Liverpool in the mire, really, in regards to not getting any transfer money for him. Well, saying that, that's a lie. That's straight away. We got 10 million as well. Fair enough. Liverpool did get 10 million, so we got Sutton back. But if you think about his market value, why is he 60, 70, 80 million pound player if he had a contract at Liverpool? But it wasn't the case. Thankfully, Liverpool got 10 million for him. But for the type of quality of player he was, Trent, 10 million in this market for the quality of right back he is, crazy. But that's Liverpool's own fault, really, for allowing him to run down his contract. But, yeah, as I was saying, other players, when you see Isak getting mistreated, because if other players want to sign for Newcastle, they are, sadly, the middlemen. They are the stepping stone to a big move to City, to a big move to Real Madrid. They're a big move to Liverpool as well, as is Real Madrid sometimes with Liverpool. Xabi Alonso moved from Liverpool to Real Madrid. Trent, Liverpool to Real Madrid, sadly. McManaman moved to Real Madrid. Owen moved to Real Madrid. But yeah, it's mad. It's absolutely baffling. And I feel sorry for Isak. And the way in which we sold Coutinho as well, and we all know, it's why I speak to Geordies as well. Just sell him. Sell him. I get you don't want to be losing him, but it's going to do detrimental damage to Newcastle United Football Club in the longer run as well. In terms of any players want to come to your football club, good luck trying to persuade them. A lot of players have already turned down Newcastle United. It's all well and good having all this money, all that, but when you're deeper, say a player, 2-3 players down the line, look and you speak in negotiations. Oh yeah, but obviously Isaac's agents should have really put a buyout clause. But if you're any player signing for Newcastle, all these agents now are going to be coming to Newcastle 2-5 years down the line. Anyone signs to Newcastle, right lads, we're putting in a buyout clause. We're putting in a buyout clause in any of these new contracts. Because if their client, their great high-profile player, gets interest from the likes of City, a Liverpool, a Real Madrid, 2-3 years down into their new contract or whatever, they will want to move unless Newcastle are competitive and they're winning league titles and Champions League. But at this moment in time, they're not. And I love Alan Shearer, tremendous footballer and a very good pundit as well. Go and check it out, the Rest is Football podcast. And he spoke about it and all that, and the lads, and Gary Lineker and Richards. But I find it mad as well, like, obviously Shearer, and the list is endless. Every single player in the history of football has left when there's been 2, 3, 4, 5 years left on the contract. Oh, good luck trying to sign a Chelsea player. They've got about 9 years on their contracts. But they're all happily getting paid 200 grand a week for 9 years. No wonder they're sitting, and I find that mad, but that's another show for another podcast as well. But I feel sorry for Isak. And Newcastle are doing internal and external damage to their football club and their reputation as well, in regards to any potential players 2, 3, 4, 5 years down the line want to sign for your football club. Good luck trying to persuade any of them, because they're looking at this Isak situation and going, right, Liverpool, one of the top 3 biggest clubs in world football. Like, if I do good for Newcastle 5 years down the line, will I be allowed to go to a likes of Liverpool, a City, a Real Madrid, a Paris Saint-Germain's? If that's not going to be the case, then they're going to be sat with Joe Linton, they're going to be sat with Chris Wood all those years ago as well. Like, it's difficult, and I get Newcastle fans' frustration as well. We all do. We've been there with players, as we mentioned before, but know your place in football, in the football and pecking order as well. It's harsh, but at least, come on. And then there was that, like, just to quickly conclude as well, chat, before we wrap up. And I'm seeing, where is it? Like, tweets like this as well. Like, I get, obviously, yes, it's like speaking with emotion as well. Big up to the mouth of time as well. I massively disagree with his comments here, and this is where it comes into play, really, where it's mad. Take the hit, ruin his career, take 3 years of his career away from him and let him rot in the reserves. Allow him to leave when he's 29 old and hasn't kicked a ball in 3 years, and see who pays the 330k a week then. That's mad. That is absolutely mad. I respect your opinion, bud, and that's right. I just find those tweets, I get it, that is a tweet with emotion. It's a love. No, obviously, Malford Sign, don't know him personally, but he certainly loves Newcastle United Football Club. But takes of that nature are madness. There's still a business to be run, and there's still a football club to be run there. Like we sold Coutinho, we went and got Alisson Becker and Virgil van Dijk for 150 odd million. For that amount of money as well. And look how good those players are now for Liverpool. And you know when Newcastle are going in for silly bids for Wissa, that is deliberate and that is absolutely crazy. Because you know the next time Newcastle want to sign another player from like maybe Brighton or the Brentford or the Everton or whoever they want to sign, their negotiations, the negotiating and the agents as well and the football clubs that they're bidding, they're looking at this deal now and they're going, lads, he's taking absolute mickey, aren't you really? As well. But yeah. Oh, sorry there, but yeah, as Bonker said there, the saga's dragging. Yeah, as Dad has said there, be patient. It will happen, Reds. And I just find it mad. I just find it like, but I suppose I've been there as well. Like when I was younger, about Torres, I was fuming, I was furious as well. But when you grow older, it's like, the players don't really care. Like, we're very blessed that we do have Salah and Van Dijk, and they do care because we love them to bits as well. But I just find takes of that nature from Newcastle fans, and that's been not just that tweet, but there's been countless thousands of them as well. There's one thing disliking a player in terms of how he's handled, but in terms of just throwing all that away, like Liverpool, let's not act. And the one thing as well, chat, I could be here all night, but this notion from very, very well-respected journalists from the Newcastle side as well, and within football and journalism, the fact that Liverpool, that certain sections of the media as well are making out that Liverpool's bid is not big. It was a record-breaking bid with the add-ons included as well. It would have broke the English record. It's like, and again, it's like business. If you're bidding for a house or bidding for anything really, you never go with your highest bid straight away. Because Liverpool probably got wind of how Newcastle would react, really. And we've put a bid in, of course. The first bid was never going to get accepted. But what's unravelled and the way in which it's unravelled is crazy. Yeah. And for Newcastle this season, they're going to find out that if Isak still stays at the football club in the next 2 weeks, they've got an unhappy striker. He'll eventually somehow get integrated back into the team. But Newcastle, as they were in the Champions League a couple of seasons ago, and they were absolutely decimated with injuries as well. Oh, you could have invested one player, selling Isak, getting Wissa, possibly getting another attacker as well, and then maybe getting an extra centre-half, an extra midfielder, another winger. You could have invested that money into the squad. But Liverpool have certainly given Newcastle United time in the transfer market. The fact that Liverpool have probably, and a bit of me says, I don't know how you feel, chat, is Liverpool have probably given Newcastle maybe 2-3 weeks to go, lads, right, we won't tell the whole of Wales football and the Premier League teams that you've got 120, 130 odd million in your bank when we sign Isak. We'll let you try and do your business. But it's been getting rejected by absolutely everyone. And Liverpool have just probably ran out of patience. We are ran as one of the biggest football clubs in the world football. And I'm hoping, and sadly, there will come a time, if Newcastle still are messing about with Isak, they're going to destroy his career. He's going to miss out on an opportunity of potentially winning the Champions League, potentially winning the Premier League as well. And for any players, good night to anyone that wants to be signed. Newcastle really want to be signing any more players. They'll see how this has been handled. No player worth their quality as well will be wanting to sign for Newcastle. The way in which, because if they eventually 2-3 years down the line get a City or a Liverpool or Real Madrid interest in their signature, Newcastle will be like, oh yeah, sound, no, we don't want to sell. It's all well and good building a project, but you've got to take the hit sometimes, invest that money in other areas of the team. Like, I just find it mad. I find it absolutely baffling, really. But I suppose Newcastle, if they keep on acting like an amateur football club anyway, then they'll eventually find out when 2-3 years down the line no one's wanting to sign for them because you've just seen the way in which they've handled Isak's situation. Liverpool, I don't know, not in chat, but I'm guessing Liverpool will go with another bid. But I do think in the next week, if the second bid doesn't get accepted, Liverpool maybe at the back end of the window might go in for the third. But and I'll tell you what, when we're running out of time, of course we need to bring in Gahey. But I still feel Liverpool, if we can't get Isak over the line, Liverpool might eventually move on to another target. And there's the back of my mind going, please, Liverpool, just sign Wissa. Just for the absolute sheer banter. Because Newcastle, we've already got Hugo Ekitike. If he's a messing about, Wissa, yes, he's 28, but he's a fantastic footballer. He's a very good footballer. And he'd make a great addition to our squad as well. But one of them, really, innit? So, Reds, probably as well, yeah. We chat. What are you chatting there? Can I make tea? I don't know. Jojo, especially good to keep it as well. Oh, sorry, dear buds, I've missed that one. It's a big year, bonkers. It's a big year for Curtis and other players within this squad as well. Because Liverpool are on the upward trajectory, really now. The last year has been tremendous, and now Liverpool, of course, it's been a ridiculous, above all of Liverpool fans' expectations of wildest dreams, really. The amount of money we've spent. But this is what the large majority of Liverpool fans over the last 4 or 5 year period we've been crying out for. But I don't think Jurgen Klopp was that type of manager. He always liked that underdog mantra, really. He wanted to do it his way or the only way, really. And that's why I do think there was difficulties with Wards and Edwards and other sporting directors as well. Obviously, hence why they left the football club. But now they're back. And we're looking, and the recruitment and the data department for Liverpool is second to none, really. And I know, chat, it's disappointing. We want Isak in straight away, but it's alright wanting Isak. He's going to be about 2, 3, 4. I'd even say he's going to be probably about 2 months behind everyone else, really, in regards to his fitness. And we don't want to be putting Isak on the pitch when he's not 100% match fit, considering the injuries he has sustained, really, in his career. So, yeah, it's one of them, really. Yeah, so, one of them, chat. Yeah, I just find it mad, really. And some of the stuff, everyone's entitled to their opinions when they're speaking, especially Newcastle fans. They're speaking with passion. But when common sense goes out the absolute window, it's like, come on. What he is doing, you've still got to function as a football club. You've still got to compete for Champions League spot this coming season as well. And I'll tell you now, we see him when you were in Champions League. Was it 2 years ago? They done well. They beat a couple of big teams along the way, beat Paris Saint-Germain and other teams or whatever happened. But they fell away in terms of competing the following season because they had Europe and then they balancing out with the Premier League, FA Cup, League Cup or whatever. It's impossible. And Liverpool certainly spending money the right way. Liverpool will go in, chat. I don't know nothing, but unfortunately we're all anticipating Liverpool to go in for a second bid. But there will come a time when Richard Hughes and the data lads and the scouting department go, what are you doing? They're then have to speak to Isak personally, as obviously probably not allowed anyway, but they'll find a way. They'll just say, Isak, I'm sorry lads, but your football club's having an absolute nightmare anyway. And they might move on. But depends how much Arne Slot wants them. But Arne, he's spoken glowing terms of Alexander Isak. especially off the back of the League Cup fixture as well. But it's one of them. Newcastle, sort your stuff out, will you lads, please. And then just, if you need an extra couple of days, just go and sign Strand Larsen for Wolves, or another player. At this rate, go and sign Patson Daka from Leicester. He might be available. He might actually sign for years anyway. But let's hope he can get the Wizard deal over the line. But I think a lot will change. Liverpool will put a second bid in, possibly put a third bid in come at the end of the transfer window before it shuts anyway. And then Liverpool can go, we've tried our best. Tried our very best, Alexander Isak, as well. But Phil, in my opinion, if Newcastle sold Isak to us, they could get the players to make them stronger. That would be the sensible move. Philip, that's what I've just said, mate, as well, and that's common sense. But Newcastle, speaking with, all common sense goes out the window when you're speaking to some Newcastle fans as well. That's why I just don't engage with posts, really. I just find it mad. But I've been there when I was younger. But as you get older, you learn to not love players as much as you once did when you were younger. But it's one of them. But at the end of the day, similar to Liverpool, like we've had with Suarez, Sterling, and Coutinho as well. Coutinho was faking his back injury to get the move to Barca. Liverpool were adamant that he wasn't for sale, but Liverpool drew up. Brought up a hard bargain, really. But it's mad when you've got some journalists from a Newcastle perspective as well saying that, oh, he's not getting sold. You're just so naive. So naive as well. Because as a journalist, you've got to be, it depends if you're the Newcastle correspondent, but you've got to be a neutral as well. You've got to speak about it both sides as well. And and you've got to speak with a bit of common sense as well and a bit of information behind it. But yeah, I found it quite fascinating from the Newcastle point of view, from the fans, the manager as well, Eddie Howe, and the players, and the fact that they're just trying to get the players to speak on Isak. I'm telling you now, if you asked any Newcastle United player, do you want to stay at Newcastle, or if Liverpool were in? Like Bruno Guimaraes was it 2-3 years ago? Yes, he signed a new deal anyway, but I think even Newcastle at that time were just unwilling to let Bruno Guimaraes go to Manchester City. And I find that mad. Bruno could be sat at home tonight, Bruno Guimaraes, and he could have had 2-3 Premier League trophies, Premier League medals as well around his neck. Could have had a Champions League medal, I suppose. But in terms of Newcastle, they've got to buck up their ideas really and do much better as a football club. And you need to actually start bringing in a proper director of football. I still find this mad. The fact that they haven't brought in a sporting director now, it's ridiculous. They've got someone in charge, but I think it's Eddie Howe's relative or whatever. It's not good enough for a team in the Premier League as well. But that was it. Just a little bit of we've gone an hour anyway. Much appreciated, everyone. We've gone through a lot tonight. Hope you have enjoyed it. We'll be back again live tomorrow at 11 o'clock anyway. But Storm's just popped in there, bud. Nice one, lad. Chat, if you haven't already done so, do drop a like on the video as well. Massively helps out in regards to Everett in terms of the algorithm, or if you're ever watching anyone's social media content or on whatever platform, do drop a like. It massively helps out. But Reds, if you are watching on the repeat, but a massive thank you to Steve and Storm and Phil and Bonkers and Dada as well. Matt Oxby Ford as well. Footy Jujamo as well, mates. Andrew, all these, well done. And Doug as well, and Gary. Reds, and I do apologise if I have missed your name, but you're absolute legends for tuning in. Very much appreciated, Reds. See you again tomorrow. Look after yourselves. Have a lovely rest of your day. Look after one another. And yes, let's hope we get a bit more news as we wake up tomorrow morning on the Alexander Isak front. And quicker this is done. And certainly, quickly touching on Marquez, he just finally closed as well. It's anticipated that deal will very much pick up a bit more speed in the next couple of days as well from all the very well respected journalists, same as David Ornstein and all the other obviously very well respected journalists covering Liverpool as well. It's just more or less Liverpool have recommenced negotiations for the centre half. Obviously tomorrow night or tonight, this evening, Crystal Palace will be obviously starting their qualification for the Europa League as well. So that's a big game on the horizon for them, obviously, in their qualifier. I don't even know who they're against anyway, but for their, no, not Europa League, Conference League qualified as well, but you'd expect them to go through. But Eze and Gehi are expected to be in the starting 11 tomorrow, even with the news of Eze looking like he might potentially be going to Arsenal Football Club as well, was linked. But that's the way I would have liked Isak to have handled the situation, and being honest, doing what Eze and Gehi are doing, playing, and then just let the board and let the directors and let the agents talk about it, and maybe come out in an interview as well. But it's mad. Every player is different, but it's one of them really. But Eds, look after yourself. Thank you everyone for tuning in. We'll be back again live tomorrow at 11:15. But Eds, for now, look after yourself.